Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. This is Terrence Bardui. Let's make it public. I think we're still having our same difficulties here, guys. I don't know what has been going on with Facebook, but it will not allow me to make this thing public until after the show. And what can I do, man? I can only do what it'll allow me to do. So you can go to Bardui Financial Services, and we can go from there. Let's make it live on Instagram as well. Let's go live. So good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. If you're from the 767 YT Kubali, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Luku Boy. Dominica made me. Boston raised me. The South sustains me. How you doing this evening? Hope everyone's doing well. For the last weeks, for some each technical difficulties, so I'll have to make it public after the show. So anyways, I'll put a note so people can take a quick look and they can go and say, I can say, watch me live on Bardui Financial Services. I'll put it on that. I'll say, watch me live on Bardui Financial Services on Facebook. So I can do that so people can have they know where to go because they might be looking for me and they can't find me. Watch me live now. Let's fix services. Bardui Financial Services. And we're going to make this professional. And we're going to continue the show. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome. I don't see anybody watching yet, but that's certainly fine. I'm just going to start what I'm doing. Good night, everybody. Good night. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I see someone is watching. It's probably my good old faithful. Oh my gosh. Hello. It's my DMV girl. I got to say hello to her. Folks, there is this lady I've been following on social media. She's a realtor in the DMV. And I know tonight she has her, how you call it? I can never say it. Toastmasters. So she's practicing oratorical skills so that she can get your house. But anyways, if you're in the DMV looking for a realtor right now, especially in the Maryland area, Miss Erin Coates, ERRINCOATES. Go look at her on Facebook. Follow her. So how are you? I hope you're doing well. You're driving. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Usually my show is public on my personal page, but for the last few weeks, for some reason, I cannot make it public. So people have to watch on Bardui Financial Services. And then after the show, but right now I'm live on Instagram. I can see Liz Bardui, my cousin from New York's watching from Brooklyn. I'm live on Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. So I want to thank all those who are watching. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Tonight we have a good show. We're going to talk about critical illnesses. I talked about it last week, and we're going to talk about it again. Tonight, we're going to concentrate on strokes, heart attacks, and also cancer. Again, we're going to talk about that because this is prevalent, especially in our communities. But just before we do that, man, I like to play a little Barris before I play my theme song. And what does it say? Let's turn this thing on. Let's see. What does Barris say? She loves me now. Who loves me now? All my fans. There he goes. I should have the guitar strumming. It's over there. I won't get it tonight. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Ow! She loves me now. Who Who loves me? All my fans, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. She loves me now. Elizabeth Badu, do you love me all the way in New York? Woo! All right, this is not a party. It's not a party. Let me stop this. Let me play my theme song so we can start the show. This song, I inspired this song and I got them to write it so that we're talking about my rise. I'm originally from the Caribbean, grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Been here for the last almost in 3 years. It'll be 50 years I've been in this country. Oh my gosh, long time. But we're gonna just play my theme song and we're gonna go from there and start the show. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I should get my guitar. Should I get my guitar? Yes. Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Woo! Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. Oh. City like dining dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City light shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South, every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From the Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side. That's right. Dominica made me, Boston raised me. Now the South sustains me. You know, I really enjoy, fooling around. I'm not good on the guitar, but I like to play it a little bit every now and then and, get my little kicks in. But I want to say welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Again, Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustained me. Tonight, we have a very special show, talk about more critical illnesses. There are some statistics I want to share with you. So we'll do that tonight. For those of you who are watching, welcome. I give a little shout out to Miss Erin Coates. She's a DMV realtor who's been up and coming, and she's placing a lot of stuff on Facebook. So for those of you, if you're in the Maryland area and you're looking for a realtor, Aaron Coates. All right. But anyways, for those of you who might be watching a little later, because for some reason I cannot make it public on my page. It will not allow me to make it public like it used to. So what can I do? What can I do? Good evening, Mr. Arvin Vassar. Good to see you. And whoever else is watching, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Again, in the markets, let's see what happened in markets today. Oh, wow. The volatility in the Dow Jones, it was down 436.36 points. Oh my gosh, almost 450 points. So 436. So some of you might have lost some funds. The Nasdaq was up a little bit. The tech stocks was up 37.47, and the S&P was down 24.80. It's kind of sad with what's going on in the economy, but what can you do, man? What can you do? You just got to keep pushing, keep pushing. I'm going to take a look at one of my friends' 401k. See if they're taking a beating the last couple of days. Let's see, up a little bit. All right, it's up a little bit now, and they're almost at 247k. That's good. They're doing well. They're going to may take a little loss tonight, but hope you guys are doing well. For those of you who have 401ks on your old jobs, I'm the guy who can help you roll that over. I don't care if you're a federal employee or whether you work for private industry or whatever. And for those of you who are still on the fence about, should I have some, I just saw a video where this woman, she did a prank on her husband, asking him if she died, what is he going to do? And he was saying, he would, continue living his best life. And she couldn't get it. She goes like, you pay the bills. I don't know how to pay the mortgage. I don't pay the lights. I don't pay anything. And the funny thing about the whole conversation, there was no discussion about life insurance because she doesn't do anything. She doesn't pay anything. He does all the stuff, and nothing is wrong with that. But God forbid if something happens to him, there should be ample enough money to pay the bills until she can not get over, but until she can function again. And that's something that people fail to acknowledge when they're talking about that. But tonight, we're going to concentrate on critical illnesses. I have it in the chat right here. Let's take a quick look. Let's see the banners. It says strokes, heart attacks, and cancer. I have 6 sisters. Gosh. 2 younger than me and 4 older than me. And the oldest one, the youngest one, both of them are breast cancer survivors. I know a lot of friends who are cancer survivors, people at my church, and so forth and so on. My best friend, I've said it multiple times on this show, he suffered a stroke a few years back. One of my other friends suffered a stroke 2 Novembers ago as well. And they were both under 50. And it's kind of sad that that happened, but they say sometimes strokes is like the silent killers, and heart attacks, because people are not aware of certain things that they're doing in their lives. You got to eat right, you got to exercise, all those different things. You got to watch your high blood pressure, all of this stuff. But I'm not a medical person, nor am I here to tell you what you got to do. What I'm here to tell you tonight is what you should do before that happens, because too many times a lot of people do not plan. Let me read you some statistics right here. It says in 2025, cardiovascular disease, including heart disease and stroke, remains the leading cause of death in the United States. So in these United States of America, the leading cause of death, okay, is heart disease and stroke. All right, it's claiming more lives than all forms of cancer and accidental deaths combined. So for those of you who are out there and who are not putting something in place, tonight that we're going to talk about how for pennies on the dollar you can secure that. Right? We can secure that. Now, it says, according to the American Heart Association, while advancements in medical care have helped people live longer with these conditions, key risk factors like high blood pressure, obesity, obesity, and high blood pressure are key factors, and type 2 diabetes continue to rise. So, I've been healthy all my life, never took any medication. I went for my annual this year and they told me I got high blood pressure. So I got to take a pill every day. Well, you know what? And sometimes I say to myself, dude, you can't let all these things stress you out. But they call it the silent killer because you could be thin, you could be, in shape, but stress and a lot of other issues that can affect your health. It says key risk factors like high blood pressure, obesity, and type 2 diabetes continue to rise. Cancer remains a major cause of death as well. I think every one of us may know someone, anyone who's watching tonight may know someone who has contracted cancer or died from cancer or had breast cancer or some form of cancer. And together with heart disease accounts for a significant portion of all deaths in the United States. So the figures, and you can get that information from the American Heart Association. That information is right there. And sometimes we forget about that. So tonight, I'm here to talk about, obviously, I used to do this health as well walks. I haven't done them in a while. And I need to continue to do that, where I go walking and I talk about the importance of being healthy and staying healthy. But I think one of the key causes that a lot of people don't realize is we don't take care of ourselves. A lot of us refuse to take care of ourselves. And for those of you who've tuned in, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. I just want you to know it's paramount that we take care of ourselves. And if we don't do that, guess what happens? Downhill. We go downhill. And what happens usually when there's a critical illness, one of those illnesses, you can't work. Some people say, I may have short-term disability at work, but what if it's severe, so severe, what you're going to do after short-term and long-term? You're going to start going into your savings. And if you have no savings, or you spend down your savings, you have to, apply for Medicaid, Medicare, Medicaid. And that could take, up to 24 months. You have to spend out all of your assets, to like $2,000, whatever, if you own a home and the home was in your name when you got on those programs, there's a 5 to 7 year look back. So if you die, the Commonwealth or the state that you live in, they're going to go back. The government's going to go back and look back 5 years to recoup some of those funds. So I try to educate people to have something in place just in case, for pennies on the dollar. As a matter of fact, it's easier to qualify for some of these critical illness plans than life insurance. I talk about life insurance with living benefits all the time, but everybody don't qualify, because if you're uninsurable for life insurance, it doesn't mean you're uninsurable for cancer. Right? Because they're going to ask you, one of the questions that they ask you, and the most important question, have you ever had cancer, or were you ever diagnosed with cancer? And if the answer is no, and your height and weight, is, there, you're going to be approved. I'm working on one for someone right now, someone who watched the show in a different state, and, we're going to take it down to what they can afford. But too many times we forget to prepare for the future. We forget to. And when we do that, guess what happens? What happens? When we do that and life happens, then we're in a conundrum. You got to do GoFundMes, you got to do, crowdfunding and all those different things. And I just don't think people should do that when they can certainly create something to put in place. What I'm going to do while we're talking, I'm going to put this. Someone said they can't find Tuesdays with Terrence on my business page. Wow. Okay, I'm going to send them the link. This is what? What did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong tonight? Oh my gosh. Tuesdays with Terrence. It's incredible, boy. Let's see. Let me just double check, guys. We're going to take a quick break here while I check this for some of my, someone says they can't find me on Bardui Financial Services either. That is That is wild. What's going on lately, man? The devil is busy, boy. Tuesdays with Terrence is not even on my page either. Let's see. What? No. Let's see. I can see it. Um, what's going on? Oh, Lord have mercy. Bardui Financial Services. Um, Watching from YouTube, though. Okay. All right. All right. So welcome. Welcome. I was just about to send you the link, but I went to Bardui Financial Services and I can see it live. I can see it live on my. Something has been going on lately, and I need to talk with. I need to talk with. There it is. It's on my page now. Go try my page. Go try my page. Do me a favor. You said you can watch me on YouTube now, and that's great. But go to Bardui Financial Services right now and see if you can see because I'm looking at it. I can see it on my page right now. I know what I can do. I cannot make it public. It's not streaming on my page. What is going on? But I'm looking at it on my, there it is on my business page right here. It's streaming on my business page. But anyways, you're watching on YouTube. What I need to start telling people, maybe that can help build my YouTube channel. Any of you who are watching me on YouTube, why don't you subscribe to that channel as well? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And so you can follow me on multiple platforms because I stream on X, I stream on Instagram, I stream on YouTube, I stream on LinkedIn. So I don't know what's going on, but the devil has been busy lately. And let me tell you guys something, right? And some of you may or may not know this, man. Last night, was it Saturday in church the pastor preached, or last night, or Sunday night? I don't remember. Or last night, he made a point, and I'm going to share it with you. This is the point he made. He said that when things are going good in certain section of your life, at home, your professional life, something's wrong. Or if it's going wrong in your professional life, something's going wrong at home. Or if your professional life and your home life is going, something's going wrong at church. But always somewhere, the devil's always attacking, right? But what I'm not going to do is, I'm not going to sit here and complain and cry. What I'm going to do is continue doing these videos and then make it public, and then people can watch it afterwards. And maybe that's a way to continue doing it. And maybe I can encourage people to go onto LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn. You can watch it there. You can watch it on X, which is formerly Twitter, and all these other platforms. You can watch it there as well. So it's one of those things. And Instagram, it happens there as well. But there's a plethora of places where you can watch me. But it is what it is. And I don't know what's going on, guys. And I'm just trying to keep checking it out and fixing and see what happens. So as they say in France, c'est la vie, mon ami. That's life, my friend. I can't control that. What I'm not going to do is not do the program. I'm not going to not do it because I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to continue doing it. I need to talk to one of my colleagues to find out what's going on, but she's pretty efficient. I'll give her a call tonight, and maybe we can try to troubleshoot and see what's going on. But getting back to my lecture at hand, critical illnesses like stroke, heart attack, and cancer is prevalent. Is the number one cause of death in the United States. But guess what? In our communities as well, people of color, it's high as well. The obesity, I don't call it an epidemic, but you gotta, I've never been obese or big in my life. I can't gain weight because those who know me, I'm ADHD. I gotta be moving all the time. I don't know. But even if you've gained weight, folks, you can do things. You can exercise. You can change your diet. You can walk. You can do stuff. And just because you've gained weight doesn't mean you're not in shape either. But there's a lot of contributing factors. Diet. A whole bunch of different things that can happen to us. And we just have to make sure that we're doing the right things. But I don't want to talk about, if that happens to you. I want to talk about what do you have in place just in case if that happens to you. If it happens to you, you got to know what you're going to do. You got to know how you're going to what's the word have funds to cover a critical illness. And I always tell people, everyone who's my client, I always pray that nothing ever happen to you. I don't want to see anything happen to you, but life happens, guys. Life happens. And when it does, like they say in France, c'est la vie, mon ami, that's life. Life always happens, but you got to prepare before it happens. And some of us don't like to prepare. Some people, it's kind of like speaking to a rock, And I'm going to tell you guys, this may sound mean, but I'm going to say it. Let me take a glass of water a drink of water so I can say it nicely. Let me drink some water here. So I'm making a mess here. I'm going to say this, and you guys might see my point of view. You might not, some of you, but yeah. What bothers me, right, is not that life happens for anybody. What bothers me is people who know me and know what I do and don't put something in place. But then when something happens, I get all these different requests, for this fundraiser to help this person and help that person. And I'm not saying we're not our brother's keeper. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, folks, we have to do better in planning. All of us have to. All of us have to do better in planning. And if we don't do that, let me fix this here. If we don't do that, what we're going to be doing every time is just thinking that, the world got to help us. And I believe sometimes we have to help. And I'm actually talking to people who live in the continental United States. I'm not talking to some of us in different countries or different places. I'm not talking about those. All right, because some of us, for somewhere or another, we help each other when we can. But I think it's paramount that that we change the trajectory of how we put things in place, change our mindsets, how we think. I know there's one person who's watching right now who have a cancer policy. I'm very proud of them, critical illness, because both of their parents passed, and I think they both had a form of cancer. So that may never happen to them, and I pray it never happens. And they even have it for their child. And I have two siblings who are survivors, and their children, my nieces and nephews, whatever. I've told them put something in place, but that's their call. That's their call. And sometimes people may do stuff not with me. I mean, I posted a video. Some of you may have seen it with that girl. She calls herself Veronica, where her friend called her to ask for a favor, and the favor was to help her move. And Veronica said, "Oh, you moved?" She said, "Yeah, I just bought a house." And Veronica says, wait a minute. You bought a house and you didn't use me as your realtor? And I'm a realtor. And she goes, "Oh, don't take it personal, but things happen, da da da." And the girl starts laughing, and she says, "Are you calling me to help you?" She said, "Don't take it personal." And that's what I mean. If there's people in our lives who do the things that we offer, and if you don't trust me, I've always said that to people. If you don't trust me, don't do business with me. Don't, because you don't trust me. If you don't like me, don't do business with me. I understand it as well. But I don't think that's the issue. I just think people are just funny. And one of the things about it is that, I was talking to one of my clients who has life insurance with me, critical illness, and an annuity. And we're talking about credit, and how they've built their credit up. And I'm so proud of them because, I suggested to them some changes and they followed it the last 2 years to the T. Now they have excellent credit. They sent me a review last week of their credit reports, and I'm so proud of them. And I continue to wish them the best, financially, psychologically, spiritually, all the different leads. But back to the lecture at hand, there is no reason why we can't put something for pennies on the dollar. So, for example, Alvin Varsa is watching, right? I'm gonna pick on him for a minute. Alvin Varsa. If you're still watching, Alvin, I'm going to Instagram and I see you. I'll be able to tell you guys, um, what he is. But let's assume, I think he's 63 or going to be 64, somewhere around there. But let's assume, let's see, let's go and go back to regular and see if we can get it to move. Let's say he was, let's see, 60. Let's see. I'll go back to the chat to see if he put his age down. No, he didn't. But I think he might be. I'm going to pick. Let's say I'm just going to use an age for him. All right. Let's say he's 63 or 64. And let's look at it. Let's say he's 63 right now. Well, I think he might be 64, but let's say he's 63. All right. And we're going to look at a cancer policy for him. Let's say he's in the state of Virginia, individual. We're going to put his age, and we're going to say 63. He might be 64, but let's put 63. A cancer policy. And let's say, a $10,000 policy. You can go all the way up to 100,000, but let's say it's a $10,000 policy, right? Let's see. I did 1,000 instead of 10,000. Shame on me, right? And we calculate that. A $10,000 policy is like $18.68 a month. That is chicken feed, right? So if we go back and we say, let's make it 63. Select VA. Look at Washington State here. And we give him, I don't know, 25,000. Let's just double it up a little bit. 1 to 3. Cancer policy only. No, he doesn't stroke or heart attack, just cancer only. Because we all know somebody who's had some form of cancer, right? What's that? That's like $48.21, less than $50 a month. So why aren't people doing that? People are not doing that because people don't know any better. Or Alvin said he's 64. He's not 63. He said he's 64. So let's go back and take out the 63, make it 64. Make him a little older. And let's take it down to 20 grand, it's like $38.37. So if you go to 25, thousands, it's not even $50. Why wouldn't you do that? Not him, but him or you or me or anybody. Why wouldn't we do that? We just don't. It's sad. We don't want to. We don't want to. We just pain in the butts. You know, we rather, man, pray for me at church. Yeah, we gonna pray for you, but the church can't help you, pay your bills. You know, so it's really important that people realize the importance of protecting what they have. Protecting critical illness, is a big thing. Let's look at some more statistics on critical illness tonight. Um, it says, what is the World Heart? Let's see. All right, there we go. What is the leading cause of death in the United States? And I just said that. It says right here. I just read that. No, we're going to skip that part. Yeah, it says, are heart attacks and strokes increasing? Let's concentrate on those. In years 2021, 2022, and 2023, we saw a doubling in the risk of heart attacks, stroke, and death. And I believe that. My best friend had a stroke in 2022, April. I have another friend who had a stroke in November of 2023. Both of them were under 50 when it happened. It says now the subjects that we're looking at are all 50 and older. See, they're looking at people 50 and older, so people my age, but there are people younger than me who are having that issue. And both of them at the time they were overweight, but life happens, right? It says now the subjects that we're looking at are all 50 and older, and it's a community-based cohort. And we saw that this increased risk was independent of traditional risk factors. That came on December 2024 last year, And how many people will have hypertension in 2025? It is estimated that 1 in 6 people worldwide. So every 6 people that you see, right, one of them, so that's nearly 1 billion, are affected by high blood pressure, and it's estimated that this number will increase to 1.5 billion by 2024. And I'm part of that because this year I was diagnosed with high blood pressure and I had to take medication. Now, I believe my high blood pressure is because of my, but that's neither here or there. I need to curtail that, but I need to be aware of what my triggers are. So we're thinking about why are the strokes on the rise in 2025? The concerning rise in strokes among young people, particularly in communities with limited access to healthcare and healthy lifestyle options. And in those 2 people I was talking about, that wasn't there because they had the healthcare. They both live in metropolitan areas, so they were hospitals. But it says to healthcare and healthy options is largely driven by lifestyles related damage to the brain and blood cells. And I believe it was lifestyle. I believe it was fully lifestyle. So what are you going to do? You're going to make sure that, you're going to make sure that you take care of yourself. You got to make sure you take care of yourself. And if you don't, what's going to happen? You become a statistic. And who wants to be a statistic? Nobody. Nobody wants to be a statistic. I don't, and neither do you, right? So basically, all I can tell you guys is that make sure that you have something in place. All right? I don't care if it's $10,000 worth. Put a critical illness policy in place immediately. Set it up. Set it up. Why? Why aren't you doing it? Those statistics are on the rise, and it's very inexpensive for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. And in October, every October we have our We talk about breast cancer awareness month, and people talk about save the tatas and all those different things. But awareness is good, but um, are you basically I don't want to say getting just your mammograms and doing your self checks? What if you're diagnosed? Wouldn't it be nice to have an emergency pool of money? Because you might not be able to work, you might be under chemo or radiation, and you might not be able to work, and the jobs are not guaranteed to save your job because you had a critical illness or chronic illness. It's not like an FMLA or leave of absence. You're sick, and there's so many things happening now. We eat so much crap nowadays. I even think, and this is not medically proven, but I even think some of the crap that we eat contributes to a lot of the things that's happening to us today as well. So what are we going to do? The last 6 months of 2025, we have to change our trajectory. I talk about life insurance all the time, but I also want to make sure people have, the critical illness in place. There is no reason why you shouldn't. They say 1 in 3 people in their lifetime will have some form of cancer. So the next time you're in any room and there's 3 people in your home, if there's 3 people there, one of you all in your lifetime gonna get it. Well, who's it gonna be? You, your kid, your husband, your friend, your cousin, your neighbor, whoever. When you go to work, look at any 3 people. 1 in 3. Statistics don't lie. And I know with men, prostate cancer is a big thing. I know I have a friend in Jamaica. I have a couple of friends in Jamaica, from Jamaica, who lost their dad due to prostate cancer. And that's one of the cancers they say if it's catch early enough, they can get that, you can be healed. A lot of guys don't want to do their their prostate exams. I still remember my first one, man. Golly gee. In January, the doctor did one on me, man, when I was hospitalized. I almost punched the dude, But you got to get it checked. You got to do it. Just like the ladies check their breasts, you got to have that done. And I keep talking about these things over and over and over again. And I just think it's important, excuse me, that we do that. I think it's important that we do that. And we have to make sure that we do that. We have to make sure. We have to. I don't know what to tell you, how to tell you, but we just got to make sure that you are doing it. We got to. So the question is, when are you going to start? When you're going to start changing what you do, or how are you going to decide you're going to fund this thing? Just in case if something happens to you. Critical illness, man, it's happening all over the place. And you have to change. Some people cannot get the living benefits with life insurance, but they can get critical illness. There is someone I have to talk to tonight about that. I asked them, let's put a critical illness policy in place for you just in case. 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 What are you going to do differently in the last 6 months of 2025? What are you going to do differently? Are you going to put a critical illness plan in place? You should. You should. We all should. I know life is lifing right now. Some of us worried about the Epstein files. Is Epstein files going to pay your bills? Is Epstein files going to protect you? Yeah, man. Everyone's commenting and saying different things, but those things don't really help you, man. Stop. Forget about those things. Concentrate on you, your life, your lifestyle, your family's life, and how you can get that done. Critical illness is key. It's paramount. And I think each and every one of us should be thinking about that. And what I'm going to start doing is just keep hammering this home over and over. And I think if I do that, some people sooner or later will say, you know what? I gotta listen. I gotta do something about this. I gotta do something about this. I got to. Critical illness is key, man. Critical illness is key. Strokes, heart attacks, and cancer happens every day. It's the number one cause of death in the United States, and each and every one of you need to put something in place for the protection, and I can help you with that. You're like, well, how do we do that? You know how to get in touch with me. Send me a DM, give me a phone call, do something, put a note. I'm interested. I need to put something in place. And I've gotten to the point where I like asking people to do things anymore because I feel like I'm bothering them. But it's still my job, because what's going to happen when people start hitting you up for GoFundMe's, you have to start telling them, you're bothering me. No, no, no. Pull back, hold back, stop. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's make sure we're doing what we ought to do. Let's stop doing what we ought to do. Let's start ought to do. And I am going to continue talking about critical illness, talking about, whether strokes, heart attacks, cancer, life insurance, annuities, financial planning, getting out of debt. I want to continue doing it over and over and over and over and over again. I got to do that. I got to do that. And I want to make sure that each and every one of you are doing the same thing as well. So for those of you who watched the show tonight, tell someone about critical illness. So you need to talk to this guy about critical illness. He's been talking about this for a while. I'm concentrating on it this summer because I'm seeing too many situations of too many cases, especially in our communities. And I would love to see people change what they're doing. My heart's heavy, but I can only tell you so much. You got to take you got to do something about it yourself. You got to do something about it yourself. So tonight, it's 10 minutes to 8. We're gonna stop a little early tonight, so that you guys can reflect on what I say. Next week, we'll go back to our next hour again of Tuesdays with Terrence. But this week, critical illness coverage is key. You need to get some ASAP. 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 Hey, I see Peaches Goodwill is on Instagram. Watching me. Wow, you watching me on Instagram, YouTube, all over the place. I feel important, man. I feel like I'm a big shot. All right. Folks, all I can tell you is simply this. Like my mother used to say, don't let too late be your cry. Don't let too late be your cry. For those of you who've done it, tonight we have a seminar going on at my church, and I didn't get to go tonight because of Tuesdays with Terrence. I've sacrificed everything for Tuesdays with Terrence. I've sacrifice birthdays, anniversaries, church commitments, personal commitments, friendship commitments, because I just feel like I have to come on and just talk about something in the industry. That's what I feel. So today, if you don't have a critical illness policy, contact me, DM me, holler at me, and tell ask your family members, who do you have for critical illness? Just ask them that question. Who do you use for critical illness? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. And that's a perfect opportunity for a conversation. Say, I know this guy, or you need to talk to my guy. My guy. So I want to thank each and every one of you for watching tonight. Short show. Stroke, heart attacks, and cancer are critical illnesses. And, and those are some of the number one cause of death in the United States. Number one cause. So what are you going to do about it? Let me help you. I have a solution. It's very inexpensive. You need life insurance, and some of you have life insurance. It was graded. Some of you, it was this or that, but you put something in place. And for those of you who have done it, I'm so proud of you. Thumbs up. Congratulations. Let's continue doing that.
Medium.
Let's continue doing that. Let me turn on my volume here. Let's continue doing that. As we go into a new month very soon, I just want you guys to be secure. I do care. Sometimes I may yell at you guys, but I do care. I do want everyone to have what they need to have. All right. So as we close and we play our theme song, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight, Tuesdays with Terrence. Tell a friend, tune in with them, tell a family member, I need the critical illness coverage. I need to do it. Tuesdays with Terrence with Mr. Bardui. Here we go. Yeah.
Dominica made me. That's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. a licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am, from Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride, together with my journey, side by side.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Peach Goodwill and Alvin and Liz Bardui and the DMV homegirl, which is actually a realtor, and everybody else. Make it a good night. God bless you. Thank you for watching Tuesdays with Terrence. And let's get some critical illness coverage for you and your family today. God bless you. Good night, everybody. Hasta la vista, babies.